Okay, we're going to do some Oscar predictions because Oscars are like 3 days away or something like that. I feel pretty confident. I have some interesting predictions here that maybe people get mad at me for, but I wanted to get in some final predictions while we still can, because then when it all happens, I can be like, I was right, you were wrong. So let's start with Best Picture. Pretty much one of the easiest categories of the night. I have mixed feelings on this. I am happy that it's Everything Everywhere, even though I like some of these movies more. I think that is the movie of the year. It's such a great poster child for 2022, and I have no problem with it winning. It makes more sense than Banshees winning, right? I'm not upset about that at all. I do think Tar would be, for the same reasons, just as good of a pick. It would be a very interesting pick. It is a great modern movie that really sums up the current time we're in, and it's also just it would be a really interesting win. Definitely not going to win though. It's going to be Everything Everywhere, and that is completely fine. Why I have mixed feelings on this is it's just so predictable at this point. There's no chance it doesn't win, which is fine, but it is fun when we don't really know, it's fun when there's maybe 3 that have it. And when they announce it, you're like, whoa, it was Everything Everywhere. Kind of like Parasite. No one thought it was really going to be Parasite. So that's that. I think it's going to be Everything Everywhere. And there's not a lot else to say about it. It's hit all the things that it needed. Overperformed, if anything. So you look at the rest of the nominees, and it's just there's not another movie that has really done as well as that movie. So Best Director, I also have Daniels for Everything Everywhere. They have also kind of overperformed themselves. I do think it's not over for Steven Spielberg. He could still squeak in there and get the win because he's Steven Spielberg, and this is a Steven Spielberg movie about him, maybe, but when you watch Everything Everywhere, the directing does really stand out. It's exciting, it's new, it's weird, it's showy. It makes so much sense that Academy voters would vote for Daniels, so I definitely see them taking this one as well. Best Actress. This is the first one where it gets a little spicy. It's kind of between Michelle Yeoh and Cate Blanchett right now. It wasn't, but Michelle Yeoh has had a really good few weeks, winning a lot of things, and she just has that the it factor associated with her nominate. She's been underrepresented for so long. This is her movie. It's it's not a comeback, but it's it would be so cool to see her win the award. That's kind of the narrative behind her nomination. And Cate Blanchett has 2 Oscars, People just aren't as excited about a Cate Blanchett win as they are a Michelle Yeoh win, which is why I could see the case for Michelle Yeoh winning. I'm still sticking with Cate Blanchett just because I feel being in such a lead the way Everything Everywhere is, being the clear winner for everything. It's the kind of thing that I can see Oscar voters being well, we can't give it everything. And I feel if they watched Tar, Cate Blanchett does, and I'm sorry to say it, give the better performance. She's a lot better in the movie than Michelle Yeoh is in Everything Everywhere, in my opinion. Even though I think Michelle Yeoh is doing a very interesting thing in Everything Everywhere, Cate Blanchett is giving one of the best performances of the last decade. So would love to see it go to Cate Blanchett personally, because I just think she's phenomenal in Tar. And I think they would, just because it's a very showy kind of Oscar-y performance. She's really leaning into it. She's talked about how much it's changed her life. It's such a big performance that it feels that's the thing the Oscars would usually go with. But who's to say? Everything Everywhere as Best Picture is not something I expected at all. Maybe they will go Michelle Yeoh, but for some reason, my gut is telling me Cate Blanchett for the prediction, so I'm going to lock her in. Best Actor. This is crazy because it was 3, and now it's pretty much Austin Butler. There is still a lot of talk that maybe Brendan Fraser can get it. I would not be upset if he got it at all. I would also not be upset at all if Austin Butler got it. I really liked him in that movie. I wish Colin Farrell was more of a lead, but it doesn't seem like he's got any chance. So yeah, I think I'm gonna predict Austin Butler, mostly because it's a biopic. He's playing a real guy. It's the whole voice thing. It's very showy, similar to Cate Blanchett. It's a big performance. I'm just going to stick with Austin Butler. The only thing hurting his chances is that he's young, and he's not even that young. I don't think the Oscars really care if it's a biopic, right? Probably going to be Austin Butler, and that's not a bad thing. Best Supporting Actress. This is kind of crazy, but I have Carrie Condon in The Banshees for Best Supporting Actress. The Angela Bassett thing, she had momentum. Like, it was there, but it's not really there anymore. Like, it just doesn't feel like that's as much of a given as it used to be. It was for a brief period of time, but the fact that it's a Marvel film, the fact that Banshees isn't getting anything else, it seems like they would go Carrie Condon. You look at the others, I don't think it's going to go to Jamie Lee, even though that's a possibility. I just don't see it happening. Definitely not Stephanie Hsu or Hong Chow. So it's really between Angela Bassett and Carrie Condon, and I feel like the fact that Banshees is in Best Picture, the fact that it's up for every other act, the fact that this is like one of Black Panther's only nominees is what hurts her chances, but who am I to say? I'm going to take a risk and say Carrie Condon, but we will see. Best Supporting Actor, we don't even need to talk about it. It's going to be Ke Huy Quan, and that's great. I'm very happy for him. Best Adapted Screenplay. Also, I would argue kind of a given. I know a lot of people would say All Quiet for the win here because of how many nominations it has, but like Women Talking, aside from not getting any performance nominations, which is insane, can I just say, I think that's what hurts it. But when you watch this movie, it's like very clearly a screenplay movie. It's all about the writing, and All Quiet is really not that. It's more of like a techie movie that I can see doing really well in some of the tech awards. I feel like for Best Adapted Screenplay, they're probably gonna go with Women Talking, and I'm not talking about any of the other nominees because like, why would they give it to Top Gun? It's kind of between these two, and just because of the kind of movie Women Talking is, gonna predict that. If there's a better argument for All Quiet, I would love to hear it. Best Original Screenplay. I am being optimistic in predicting Banshees, but it's probably not gonna. Let's edit this. I'm gonna put Everything Everywhere back. I think Everything Everywhere has that one in the bag. It's the kind of, it is a screenplay movie as well. Like it's very original and kind of high concept, but some would argue pulls it off. So I feel like that's what it has going for it in screenplay. I really think it should go to Banshees. I think it's such a great screenplay, but you know, it is what it is. Cinematography, predicting All Quiet. You look at the rest of these and it's just like not at all a chance. Not a lot else to say. It's pretty obvious that it's going to be All Quiet. Best Costume Design. Elvis, it's between this and Black Panther, but I feel like, again, the fact that Elvis is in Best Picture, the fact that there are a lot of costumes and that it's like drawing from real life costumes and outfit, like that's kind of what it has going for it, and I think it's likely going to win. Best Film Editing. I mean, Everything Everywhere is done really well in the other editing categories and like other award shows, so it's probably going to be Everything Everywhere. Should be Everything Everywhere because it's got amazing editing. It is the best edited movie of the year, I would say. Top Gun, I could see them going for it only because that's like a big movie with a lot of crazy plane. It's really well edited too. I love the editing in Top Gun, but Everything Everywhere, when you watch it, you're like, it's like one of the things you walk out of it saying is like, the editing was amazing. Best Makeup and Hairstyling. Yeah, I have Elvis in this spot as well because, well, the thing is between this and The Whale, because it's kind of between those two, The Whale only uses makeup on Brendan Fraser, and it's really well done, but I feel like Elvis, they have it for Elvis, they have it for the Colonel. Everybody else is like done up for the period. It just seems like a much stronger contender for makeup and hairstyling than The Whale. It's like very loud about its makeup and hairstyling, which The Whale is kind of, it's not in your face about it, I guess. Production design, I got Babylon. As far as production design goes, yeah, it doesn't really seem like the other nominees have much of a chance, or that they're very flashy with their production design. And when you watch Babylon, you're like, yeah, you just need to look at the poster and you can see how good the production design is. So yeah, it's nice that Babylon will probably take home this award and it will get something that night. As well as Best Score. I know a lot of people are predicting All Quiet. I am not sold on that at all. I think Babylon, I forget his name, whoever did the score, but he has a bigger history, I feel like, with wins and with his scores. The industry really likes him. His score for Babylon is super interesting. It's like pulling from different periods and different styles. It's like doing a lot. The most interesting score of this bunch and stands out. So I don't know. I could see them going with Babylon, which is very, very good because it really deserves it. I also really love the Fabelmans score, but I don't know if that has much of a chance. Best song, Natu Natu, Nothing Else to Say. I mean, that song has so much hype and love behind it, and it deserves it. Yeah, I don't know what else there's to say. Best sound, this is like, you know, the Oscars are how they are about sound, and you could argue All Quiet just because it has the word quiet in the title. Like, it's using sound in the title. But yeah, I feel like the fact that Top Gun was such a big theater movie, you know, and All Quiet was a Netflix movie, kind of hurts its chances. I know people like it had a theater run and everything, but Top Gun, if you watched it, it's like that's its thing is the sound, all the planes and the whooshing, and like I think it deserves it. I love the sound in Top Gun, and that's probably, when you look at the rest of these, it's probably going to be that. Best visual effects, one of the most predictable awards. It's like not even a competition. Avatar: The Way of Water. It's Avatar. Like why are we even? Best animated feature, also one of the most predicted ones, or predictable. It's definitely going to be Pinocchio. As much as I would love to see Marcel the Shell win, it's just probably going to be Pinocchio, and that's fine. Puss in Boots, I still haven't seen it, and I promise I'm going to see it. Best documentary feature, I haven't seen Navalny or All That Breathes or A House Made of Splinters. I've only seen All the Beauty and Fire of Love. And it kind of surprises me that Navalny's in the front, but I've heard it's very similar to the Russian doping scandal one. That won Icarus, right? There's stuff like that. There's stuff like Octopus Teacher. It's like Free Solo. Documentaries that are usually like really easily digestible and really well edited and have a somewhat relevant or interesting or unique story to them, which is why I thought Fire of Love might have a chance, but it does lean a little more on the like artsy side. So I don't know if it has as strong of a chance, but I don't know. All the Beauty and the Bloodshed is like top 10 favorite movies of last year. I would love to see it win. I don't think the Academy is going to go for it, though. It's probably going to be Navalny, though, just from what I've heard. Best international film, it's going to be All Quiet. There's nothing to say about this one. This is also arguably the most predictable category of the night, because if it's in Best Picture, they make Best International kind of a boring category like every year, because this happens with one film every year, and EO would be a better choice. Best Animated Short, I have seen these, so I don't have The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse winning. Even though it is Apple TV, it has big names to it. Last year, that wasn't the case. There was the one from Aardman, I think, and it had a bunch of big names, didn't win, and it's also long, which I think hurts its chances. They usually go with the right choice in the animated short category, in my opinion. They go with the most interesting and well animated thing. I don't know why Ice Merchants has like such low odds. It's such an amazing film, and the little bit of hope in me has it winning, because you know, if they watched the shorts, they know that's the best one easily. My Year of Dicks has a bunch of buzz around it, but I don't know if it's strong enough to take the actual award. And The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse is just a bad short film. It's like so lame. So I don't know. I don't see it winning personally, but really pushing for the Ice Merchants there. And then these last two, I don't have much to say. I have done a little bit of research, and it seems like The Elephant Whisperers is the one to win, as well as Le Pupille. Not a lot else to say here. I'm just kind of like relying on everybody else's. Those are my predictions for the Oscars. I got a few risks in there, you know. I feel like Carrie Condon is a bit of a risk. Honestly, Ice Merchants is one of my biggest risks. The animated short last year is the only category I didn't get, and it's because I didn't take a risk on it. And I'm taking a risk this year because I feel like they might go with the right thing. Everything else, I feel like I'm pretty locked in with. And that's going to do. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a good Oscars. I'll see you all on the other side.